Hey guys. So I'm sorry, that's the dog. So I came across this chapter 20 in this book that I'm reading called Push, which is Persevere Until Success Happens Through Prayer by Cindy Trim. So chapter 20 speaks on attitudes, right? Whew. This chapter right here was a real one. Okay, it was a real one for me. So I'm going to read I'm just going to read the stuff that's highlighted and whatever like that, and then just talk a little bit about how important your attitude is, cuz I got some stories. Let me see. My happiness, joy, and peace are incubated and cultivated by my own attitude. Attitude determines our altitude. It dictates how successful and ultimately how happy we will be. Attitude controls the gate of creativity in your mind. The thoughts that you allow your mind to entertain and the ideas that are cultivated, resulting in products and services you can eventually convert into wealth. Attitude can make you happy or sad, loving or hateful, cheerful or remorseful, attractive or repulsive. Your attitude controls your very capacity and predisposition for success and prosperity. Harness your personal power and God-given ability to engineer your own destiny by consciously controlling your attitude. When you fully consider the impact your attitude has on your thoughts, perceptions, and actions, and the moment you become mindful of the awesome power that God has placed within you, you won't want to allow negative attitudes to sabotage your happiness, health, and success any longer. That is so true. You will begin to nurture and groom your attitude and put it to positive use. It is a tool, a weapon, a treasure, and a contagion. Your attitude is more contagious than the most prolific disease ever faced by humankind. Its influence affects and impacts everything and everyone you come in contact with. That is true too. It is a blessing you can share in any situation. Your attitude determines the highs and lows of your life. It not only increases or decreases your emotional bank account, but also the emotional assets of those around you. The state of your attitude determines the quality of your life. It colors your world. Groomed and nurtured in a positive manner, there will be no person or obstacle that can stand in the way of your success or fail to be impacted for the better. Now, eventually I'm going to start sharing stories of how I carried myself at my job. I've been at a shred plant for 10 years. I've been a coordinator, which is the team lead, which is the team lead for about maybe 3 years. 3 out of the 10. Yeah. So I have learned the ups and downs of the attitude that I've had at that job. That was my first job. Literally. My first job at the age of, because I got hired on in 2015. I was a temp, and I started, and I remember because my very first job, literally, I started in October 2014. I was a temp, and then I got hired on finally, eventually in August 2015. So ever since August 2015 to August 2025, I've been working at this job, and I've learned the good, I've learned the bad, I've learned how to work with people. I'm one of those people where I would say, I'm not a people's person. I'm an introvert. I keep to myself or whatever, which is what I did. I did that. But what the people at the job didn't know, because they saw me being quiet, is that they thought that they can talk to me any kind of way, and I would check them. And I've learned that, it's understandable that people came at you all crazy, but it was my deliverance of how I checked them that didn't make it any better. And it took me a long time. It took me years. To not get people to not let them get me out of character. And it painted a really bad picture. There were people who were purposely trying to get me fired because they didn't like me. So they would purposely provoke me. So I would act up, and be like, see, I told you she's a negative person on the team. She has a negative impact on it. Like, these things were said about me. Oh, my back. These things were said about me at that job, about how negative of a person I am, of how my attitude is just so negative and just so bad for the people on the team. It was really, really bad. But I now realize of how much God has protected me to stay at that job, because I needed to, he needed to work some kinks out of me. Like, I know how you feel about people, but you can't be acting out every time somebody push your button. You want to be out here just going off on them. Like, you cannot do that until it gets physical. Well, no, you can't do that either. But you acting out every time they say something smart to you, every time they do something stupid, and you be like, and it triggers you, they can so easily control you. And that was a very hard lesson to learn. It was very hard for me to have control, but eventually I've gotten better over the years. My work performance was, I would say, immaculate. But I am known to be a high performer. I'm not just saying that because it's coming from me. Like, it was actually in my reviews. So in my reviews every year, when I have my review, my attitude, me not smile. It was so bad. It was said that me not smiling enough affected points. Like, the more points you get on your reviews, the more money you get. And it was always put down for years about my attitude, years about how I'm not smiling enough, years about the expressions on my face. And I'm like, but you're one of the people that be provoking me, and you the supervisor, because I'm not allowing you to talk to me any kind of way like you talk to everybody else. You're not putting that in the reviews about how you be provoking me, but you're gonna put in my reviews about how nasty my attitude was. You're not telling the whole story. So I've learned how people are when it comes to jobs, and I'm like, wow, that's trifling. But I can't control them. I can't control what they do and say towards me. But what I can control is how I respond, how I react, my attitude. So once that finally clicked in my head, I've gotten better over time. Eventually, because I am a high performer and my attitude, I've had more control over my emotions and all that other stuff. I was promoted. And I got promoted when I was on my final. It was that bad. because I was up under, at that time I was up under a supervisor that was retaliating like a oh my like a mug. Like, he was one of them supervisors where we would have, the meeting will be hours long, and I would say the most that we had was probably like maybe 2 to 3 hours long, and he would just talk down. Have you guys ever had one of those supervisors and managers? He was a supervisor, and he spoke so badly to us. I was the only one who would give him same energy. And the messed up part about it is, when I would stand up for myself and for the team, from my understanding, and I found this out because it was told to me, that there would be a person or a certain someone that didn't like how I stood up for myself and the team, because they felt like I was making things worse. And because I was making things worse, or they felt like I was making things worse, that was one of the reasons why they didn't like me either. Like, I didn't know that was a thing, to where you allowed management to talk to you any kind of way, because it's my first job, so I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know that was part of the culture, part of the work culture of allowing people that's above you to talk to you any kind of way and treat you any kind of way. I didn't get that memo. I didn't have that experience from my job before, because I was learning all of that at that job. But anyway, because there's stories behind that, but I've had stories about me being painted as me having a negative attitude towards people, but what they didn't mention was the fact that they trigger and provoke me, and they knew that it was easy for me to react and respond in the way that they wanted me to, because I was dealing with a lot of jealousy too on the team. I was dealing with a lot of jealousy, and when somebody is jealous of you, they're gonna want you to not be there anymore. They're gonna want you to get fired. So, oh, you could just easily say the wrong thing to her and she'll go off and she'll get in trouble, get written up. Like that pretty much was it. Once it finally clicked in my head that I needed to do better, that I needed to control myself, because I can't control them. They're gonna do what they're gonna do. They're gonna be haters. It has helped me to get that promotion, which I became coordinator, the team lead, which is very ironic because I could not stand people. I am not a people person. So for me to be at the front of the class every single day, I did not like it. I did not like it, but I do appreciate the experience. Absolutely. So once I've learned to control the negative part of the attitude, with me being a team lead, I've had my bad days, but on my good days, I've learned that when I'm in a good mood and I'm in a high performance mood, you know, I'm in what they will call it beast mode, right? When I have them days, I've learned that that's very contagious. And it says that in the chapter. It is a tool, a weapon, a treasure, and a contagion. Your attitude is more contagious than the most prolific disease ever faced by humankind. So me reading that chapter, it helped me to remember some of the things I had went through with work, because I literally grew up a lot at work. I've learned to control who I am today because of that job, and because of the different personalities, and me getting a promotion, me having a good attitude, a great attitude on those days has definitely put other people in a better mood. So yeah, your attitude, rather good or bad, is very contagious. I've learned to be more intentional of having a good attitude, because I knew that at least 2 of them did not like me, and I've recently found out that one of the 2 was spreading so much hate and jealousy behind my back for 10 years. Do you know how much hate and dislike you have to have in yourself towards somebody? Do you know how much hate you got to have within you to spread lies and and just negativity about somebody else? I felt it. I've always felt that person didn't like me, and I felt that person on some level didn't respect me, because of course this was an older person and I'm younger than that person, and that was another thing. You already don't like me, you're already jealous of me, which is personal. Now you've been here longer than me, but I'm the one that got the promotion because I've earned it. You do the bare minimum. They don't want a bare minimum leader. That's why you didn't get the job. But anyway, I always felt it. I knew it, and I can still feel it. But someone else that the person would talk to about me behind my back, to that, you know what I mean, they later on told me, oh yeah, I don't understand why that person be in your face when they don't like you. They talk about you, they complain about you all the time. But with me maturing over the years, with me in the beginning, I would have definitely confronted that person because of the attitude that I had at the time, because it was so easy for me to react, and they knew that in the beginning. They also saw me grow and mature over the years, but they knew how I would used to react. I just didn't anymore, because I've learned to have a better, much more positive, because one of us got to be adults. I'm just saying, one of us got to be professional. That's the one thing I'm so happy I've learned to be professional before personal. That's a big deal. That's a big deal, because I can cuss you out. I mean, don't get it twisted. I just, the choice of me not going down that route is a lot more easier. But I didn't know how bad it was. But I always felt, I don't know, it's a feeling. Have you ever been around somebody who just could not stand you? That's a feeling. That's actually like an energy. That's a vibe. And I felt that. That made me very uneasy, very uncomfortable. I never knew why. I suspected, but I'm like, I don't know why I'm feeling this way. Well, I don't know why I'm feeling this way around this person. And eventually it was exposed, and later on I found out why. Now, I don't know why, but I know why. But yes, that chapter right there is very good. Yes, let us work on our attitudes. Was there any scriptures? Have more stuff. Okay. Think of yourself as the carpenter and your life as the house. Each day you hammer a nail, place a board, or erect a wall with your attitude. Build wisely, for it is the only life you will ever build. Your life today is the result of your attitudes and choices. Having a really good attitude definitely opens up doors, opens up many opportunities. Again, I've gotten better at controlling my emotions at that job, and that plus my work performance literally has granted me a promotion. So that's true. Take full and total responsibility for your attitude towards life, people, circumstances, and opportunities, because the reality you experience tomorrow will be the result of how you handled that responsibility today. With the right attitude, you can overcome all of the limits and obstacles set before you and live the life of your dreams. If you serve Christ with this attitude, you will please God, and others will approve of you too. That is from Romans chapter 14, verse 18, from the NLT New Living Translation. Let us therefore, as many as are perfect, have this attitude. And if in anything you have a different attitude, God will reveal that also to you. That's from Philippians chapter 3, verse 15. And this is from the NASB version. I don't know what NASB stands for. Maybe one of you guys could sit down and tell me in the comments. Because what is NASB? I know it's a version, but I don't know what it means. So just reflect on these scriptures, and also reflect and check yourself on being more positive. Not only towards you, but towards others. I'm telling you, it works. It helps. The haters, they gonna hate. And, it is what it is. But you just make sure you check yourself. You can't control them, but you can control yourself. You can't control what they say and what they do to you, but you can control what comes out of your mouth. I've learned that. I didn't even finish that. I was up under a supervisor who wrote me up so much I was on my final. Because he was so vindictive. Oh my goodness. He was retaliating like a mug. As a supervisor. Which they say is illegal, but I found out that HR is more for the company, which they was protected than they were for the employees. So I have thought about going to HR about the supervisor, but I didn't. It was so bad. Everybody on the team felt it. He just targeted me because I didn't allow him to talk to me any kind of way. So he targeted me more than anybody on the team, because who you think you're talking to? Is you crazy? You must be crazy today. Okay, you must have woke up on the wrong side of the bed. You must have rolled out or something, because me? You talking to me? Yeah, he was talking to me. And he didn't like that. He didn't like that I had the audacity to stand up for myself and check him. So every chance, every little mistake, it don't even matter, big or small, it don't even matter. He wrote me up for it. Until he couldn't write me up no more, and I had one more time. It was that bad. But yes, you guys, just work on having a better attitude, a positive one. Don't let anybody take you out of your character, okay? You got power over yourself, not them. Don't allow these heathens, don't allow them to have control over you. And people who know, because that's the thing, the person who knew that I had a bad attitude in the beginning was trying to prove that I'm still that same person 10 years ago. No, ma'am. No, I'm not. I'm not that same person 10 years ago. I've straightened my attitude. What about yours? So you can talk to me any kind of way. Actually, that was the problem. You wasn't talking to me. You was talking about me to someone else. So you was talking about me behind my back. Yeah. So I don't react that way. You can't get that reaction out of me anymore. I've changed. All right, yeah. So I'm gonna let you guys go, and just work on your attitude. Don't let anybody control you. You have control over yourself. Don't let nobody get you out of character. Even though you be wanting to punch them in the face, but you can't. I mean, at least if you're gonna get physical, at least you shouldn't. I'm not telling you to. Don't do it. But if your fists were to ball up because it slipped out of your control, you just make sure they get the first hit first. You don't hit first. It has to be in, you're in defense. But don't do it.